All right, so this one is another parable. Matthew's chapter 22, verse 1 through 14. I wasn't going to do this parable, but in looking for the other ones, I saw this one. I was like, okay, yeah, this one is a good one. So this one is starting at verse 1, chapter 22 of Matthew's. And Jesus answered and spoke to them again by parable and said, the kingdom of heaven is like a certain king who arranged a marriage for his son and sent out his servants to call those who were invited to the wedding, and they were not willing to come. Again, he sent out other servants, saying, tell those who are invited, see, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and fatted cattle are killed, and all things are ready. Come to the wedding. But they made light of it and went their way, one to his own farm, another to his business. And the rest seized his servants, treated them spitefully, and killed them. But when the king heard about it, he was furious, and he sent out his armies, destroyed those murderers, and burned up their city. Then he said to his servants, the wedding is ready, but those who were invited were not worthy. Therefore go into the highways, and as many as you find, invite to the wedding. So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all whom they found, both bad and good. And the wedding hall was filled with guests. But when the king came in to see the guests, he saw a man there who did not have on a wedding garment. So he said to him, friend, how how did you come in here without a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then the king said to the servants, bind him hand and foot, take him away, and cast him into the outer darkness. There will be um, there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth, for many are called, but few are chosen. So once again, that just lets us know, um, not everybody's gonna make it, right? And that's not because um, it just is, but that's is it's more so on ourselves. We got to get over ourselves in order to really apply this stuff, and that's what the whole thing is about. Is fighting the lust of the flesh so that we can make it. But a lot of us is just not strong enough or willing enough to take on that battle. But this wedding is basically the representation of Jesus um, and the church, because as you know, the church is the bride of Christ. So in this parable, it's saying um, to the first group that basically were invited to this wedding, they're kind of symbolic as the Jews in this from Old Testament, because they were the chosen group. So Jesus wanted to make sure they got the word first, and then the rest of the world, which is considered Gentile, right? And because the Jews didn't necessarily believe, or in this sense, these people had other things that they wanted to do, and they kind of thought light of the wedding and all that. And when they basically sent out people to, again, this is also prophesying the beginning of the church of, the Christians being crucified in this beginning stage as well. That um, the first group that was supposed to go, they didn't believe. Two, they took it light and all that, and then three, they also beat and killed the messengers that Jesus in this parable sent out to get them to this wedding. And upon them doing these things, Jesus then there's consequence, right? There's punishment. So he enacted punishment on them. So now that there's no more of them, it's no one to come to the wedding. So Jesus said, okay, then just go out into the world, right? And whoever you see, whoever you find, invite them in. And as you can see, it said bad and good. So in a sense, that's the thing about the church. The church is the wedding, and it consists of both bad and good, right? But at the same time, he outlines bad and good, but we're all sinful, right? And that's the bottom line, sin, right? So this is a place where both bad and good can come and get their sins, washed away, and to make it in heaven. So the highlights of this parable, all right, I was trying to figure out what was the point of me reading this. So the point of me reading this is that um, this this wedding is for all. This wedding is for all. Uh, well, it's meant for all. Now, some may not make it, right? But it's meant for all. And again, Jesus don't show favoritism, right? He didn't give his first group of selection a pass because they just said, "Nah, we ain't feeling it," and they murdered, his messengers as well that he sent out, right? Nah, they got punished too, right? So the thing is, it's like that's like two things we just gotta remember. Like, God does not show favoritism, and two, God wants all. I'm trying to see if there was something else that I could point out within these scriptures. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's it. So yeah, stay blessed. I got one more too. I got one more. Um, that I don't want to read off, and then that'll be all the videos. But stay blessed and keep going.